Welcome. Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so let me first of all introduce myself. So, this side Krishnesh Kumar. I'm currently working as a software developer, backend software developer at Zentic Solution Private Limited. That is a Hero Group subsidiary working in a field of IoT and data. Okay, and I have almost experience of more than 4 years. So that is a brief introduction about myself. So, what the information I got to know about all of you is that you have already completed your Python course, and now we are going to start with that advanced Python course, right? Is my understanding correct, or do I need to brief your knowledge or refresh your knowledge of that core Python?
So I believe basic Python rules are fine, but like the major logic building where you will need to think yourself and write the code, that's where problem is.
Okay. Why do you think it's a problem?
Lack of practice or lack of experience, I believe.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so we will do one thing. Uh, Today we are interacting for the first time. So what we will do is that I just wanted to know just two lines of description about yourself, like what you did in LNB. I would be more interested towards that Python. What you know about that Python? Just in two lines. Your name and what do you do, like you are a college student or you are a working professional, like what do you do, and what is that knowledge you carry with you as a Python developer, or you can say that like, or a learner, something. Okay, so starting with Rakesh, would you like to go first?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. And please be free to speak in Hindi, English, any language you'd like, or like you can stop me as well and you can tell me that, sir, please continue the class in Hindi. Okay. Yeah, Rakesh, please go ahead.
Sir, my full name is Rakesh Pandurang Bhamre. I'm from Maharashtra, Pune,
Mhm.
and I'm completed my degree in mechanical engineering, but working in same field, automobile sector. But current scenario, I think go to transition with data science, and that's why I'm joining this Learn and Build. After joining Learn and Build, हमने बेसिक पाइथन सीखा, उसमें लिस्ट, टपल, बेसिक स्ट्रिंग, ये सब बेसिक सीखा. उसके बाद हमने डायरेक्ट मशीन लर्निंग पे स्टार्ट किया. उसमें हमारा स्टैटिस्टिक का पार्ट छूटा था. मशीन लर्निंग में हमने बहुत मतलब 60-70% प्रैक्टिस की मैंने तो पर्सनल.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to stick with that Python. Okay.
ओके सर. और
क्योंकि
उसके बाद
हमें
सर
उसी में अंदर ड्रिल डाउन करना है, एंड हमें एडवांस पाइथन की तरफ बढ़ना है, ठीक है.
तो उसमें सर वो जो लिस्ट कॉम्प्रेशन का कभी कभी पार्ट आता था ना, तो उसमें मुझे डिफिकल्टी आती थी और मशीन लर्निंग में.
कॉम्प्रिहेंशन लिस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. ओके, ओके,
उसमें
अंडरस्टूड.
डिफिकल्टी आती थी. तो उसके बाद थोड़ा सेट का थोड़ा डिफिकल्टी आती थी यूनिक वे से. जो एडवांस लेवल में मैं कैगल पे देखता था डेटा सेट उस पे, तो उसमें थोड़ा यूनिक वे रहता था और वो शॉर्टकट भी रहता था थोड़ा. हाँ, तो वो पार्ट थोड़ा रह गया था सर. उसके बाद तो डीप लर्निंग में थोड़ा पाइथन का तो मतलब एडवांस लेवल है ही, लेकिन वो बेसिक से हो गया तो वहाँ पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं आता था.
Okay, okay, that's fine. We'll try to touch that part as well. You mentioned that sets. We'll try to touch that as well. uh, Apurva, would you like to go next?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. I'm Apurva Srivastava and I'm a final year student. तो I've joined LNB और उसमें पाइथन जितना हमको सर ने पढ़ाया था बेसिक, लाइक 10 to 12 days का क्लासेस था. तो उतना तो हमको आता है। फिर ML और DL में हम पांडास, नमपाई, इन सब लाइब्रेरीज से काफी ज्यादा फेमिलियर हो गए हैं और प्रैक्टिस भी उनकी अच्छी है। लेकिन जो प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ऊप्स वगैरह होता है वो हमने अपने तरफ से यूट्यूब से देखा है, सीखा है। लेकिन उधर पे थोड़ा सा मुझे इशू है, ऊप्स में इशू है बेसिकली, और फंक्शंस में थोड़ा सा मुझे दिक्कत होती है। वो रिटर्न फंक्शन, वो सब मुझे, मतलब रिटर्न क्यों करते, ये सब मुझे समझ में थोड़ा कम आया।
We will explore these functions and that oops and classes concept in very detailed manner. We'll spend a lot of time on these two concepts. Okay. But I wanted to just understand that when you say that you have that 10 to 15 days of classes, how many of those concepts are still intact with you? Like, I would like to understand that. Like, I would like to name those concepts if you can.
यस सर। सर वो बेसिक लूप वगैरह के जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स थे वो सब सर ने पढ़ाए थे हमको। और हाँ सर, तो प्रैक्टिस उनकी तो है, एज इन आप कह सकते हैं कि प्रैक्टिस है पाइथन की। एडवांस पाइथन में हमको इशू होता है।
Okay, okay, okay. Karandhar, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. Like basically, it's the same as everybody told. Basic, like if, for example, I'll give you an example. If they they'll give us a list, and if you tell us to append or extend something, they'll just simply show us with like three or four elements. But in reality, there won't be three or four elements. So first of all, we'll get a file, then we'll have to do operations and make it as a list, or do more operations and make it as a dictionary, and then a nested list, and then do append and extend. So that's where the problem will be. So like the basic concepts are clear, but that's what, like the same thing I said, like practice and how things really work in Python. That's where we should work on.
Okay, okay. We'll try to address those things as well. Okay. I guess Rakesh B, you are the last one. Hello, am I audible, Rakesh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can continue with your introduction and what do you know about that Python?
सर पाइथन में जैसे अपूर्वा ने बोला, उसका मुझे भी थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है। मतलब बेसिक जो नॉलेज अपन लगा सकते हैं वो नहीं लगा पाता हूँ उसमें। जब प्रॉब्लम्स आती है क्लास इनिट, तो थोड़ा डिफिकल्टी हो जाता है सर।
Okay.
और डेटा स्ट्रक्चर का भी है, लेकिन वो तो अभी डेटा स्ट्रक्चर का पार्ट अलग है, तो वो कुछ बोल नहीं सकते अभी। लेकिन ऊप्स का है थोड़ा सर।
Okay, okay. So how many of you can say that these list, dictionary and tuple you all are clear with?
I think I am clear.
Okay. See, when you say that you are clear, then you can expect a question from me, a counter question.
Yes, I can. I think I can answer, but I can try.
Okay, okay, okay. What about others?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Himanshu.
This is Himanshu Pachauri. And
हाँ,
एक्चुअली सर हमारे साथ प्रॉब्लम ये रही ना, हम लोगों ने जून में बैच ज्वाइन किया था, जुलाई में सर।
Okay.
तो उसमें क्या था ना कि हमारा 4-5 डेज ही पाइथन का रहा था, देन उसके बाद में हम स्विच कर गए थे मैथमेटिक्स पे।
Okay, okay.
तो वो वाला पार्ट हमारा कवर हुआ। देन आफ्टर उसके बाद में एमएल हमारा शुरू हुआ, देन फिर डीएल शुरू हुआ। तो हमारा जो पाइथन का कॉन्सेप्ट है ना, वो बहुत ज्यादा, मतलब मैं अपना बता रहा हूँ, मुझे औरों का नहीं पता। तो बेसिकली मेरे वाले बैच से जो था वो क्लासेस 4-5 डेज ही रन हुई थी। आई थिंक 27 जून और 27 जुलाई से स्टार्ट हुई थी, 27, 28 एंड 30 अप टू। देन उसके बाद में हम मैथमेटिक्स पे स्विच कर गए थे, तो उसमें ये बेसिक ही कवर हो पाया था।
Okay. See, like what I can tell you all that, like, you might not have faced that much problem till now, because in machine learning, when you go to write a algo in that machine learning,
Hmm.
everything is library based. Already there are modules, you just need to import those. You just need to understand what does that function do and what are the parameters you do have to improve your algorithm, and how well do you understand your data set. And after understanding your data set, which kind of algorithm you will apply, and after applying that algorithm, how you will refine that algorithm by tuning those parameters, extra parameters you get inside that function, to pass inside that function or object of that particular class. And then finally, how would you represent your data using that different graphs. That's it. Nowhere you have written your own logic till now, I am guessing that. Like, nowhere you have written such complicated logic, which is problem solving logic or something like that, from scratch. Anyone has written or faced such scenario till now? To write a core logic from scratch, you don't have any library, you don't have the support of any external scikit-learn package or something like that. Till now, anyone has faced such scenarios?
नो सर, स्टार्ट में
No,
सर
sir.
ने स्क्रैच से असाइनमेंट दिया था एक्सप्लोरेटरी डेटा एनालिसिस का, ईडीए का, तो उतना ही किया था। उसके बाद तो मशीन लर्निंग स्टार्ट हो गया, तो उतना बेसिक टच में नहीं रहे हम एल्गोरिदम और उसको एक्सप्लोर कैसा करना है डेटा, इतना पांडास के थ्रू
Exactly,
किया हमने,
that was
बेसिक
that.
पाइथन से नहीं किया।
Yes, that was that main requirement. Like, the first main core focus was to get you that understanding of that, how that backend of that function is working, and what is that backend of that scikit-learn. Mathematics is that backend of that scikit-learn. If you understand that well, then you can write your own logic, own programs using that Python, core Python and advanced Python. And since when you will go into that interview, there is a different scenario. Like, for me, like, whenever I got a candidate to interview them for a backend developer, I don't expect directly that Django from him. Like, Django is a framework for backend development. That case where, like, scikit-learn and Keras is, or TensorFlow is a backend to develop that machine learning or deep learning programs. So Django and Flask are those backends. So I don't expect directly questions he should answer from that backend. I would expect that he must be good in that Python and advanced Python first of all. That is my bare minimum requirement. So that's why this class has been scheduled for you all as well, because this is industry wise accepted criteria that if you are good in that logical thinking, building those logics, then you can be molded, or you can work in any kind of that technology. Like, it can be a machine learning, it can be a Django, it can be a Flask. You just need to understand that libraries or that framework, and you just need to call those functions. That's it. So that is why this class has been organized. Okay, so let's start that conversation towards that Python from that first question, from that list only. Okay, list, tuple and dictionary. Okay, so according to all of you, which one is that more memory efficient, list, tuple or dictionary?
एप्पल सर।
Why? And what other people think about that same question?
So because tuple, memory of tuple is actually a single block. So tuple is usually faster than list.
When you say that it's a single block, what do you understand by that?
Single block as in the pyramid. In the pyramid, there are multiple squares in it, multiple like multiple objects which was made from pyramid. But if you take a pyramid as a single object which has nothing inside, then that will be a single block. If you know what I mean.
No, that is not a very relatable answer.
Okay, but like it just came
Sir,
up.
Yes, yes.
so tuple has a small memory.
Yeah, that answer somebody already gave, but I want to know that why you are saying that tuple is lightweight. What is
Because
the
will not change any element after allocation.
so? So what does that mean? Anybody else would like to answer? Like somebody said that tuple don't change, right? Somebody said that. So what do you understand by that?
Immutable. So like if you assign a value to it, then that's a like permanent. Like or else you will have to make a different tuple if you want to add values.
Okay, so what I am suggesting you to think in that direction only. You are close to answer. Just think about it. What does that
Single
immutable means?
then single block means like if um wha- if zeroth index is assigned to a particular value, so like um I don't know if it's easier if it's fixed, it's faster if it's fixed, and if there won't be any more programming to that. Maybe I'm just guessing.
Okay, so I guess Karan was talking, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is your background, Karan? Do you know something about that low-level languages like C++?
Sir, actually, I'm in final year of my electrical and electronics engineering.
Okay, no,
Uh,
no, no problem, no problem.
yeah.
Like,
So, like, I know, like, in my open elective, I had taken OOPS with C++. So, a little bit C++ I know.
okay, no problem. I will explain in general to everyone. Okay,
Yes.
so basically, when we say that Python, so Python is a high-level language, and behind that there is a low-level language. What we called it as a C Python. Okay, so in the case of that list and in the case of that dictionaries, these two are the mutable data structures. Okay, so and that is also not the case that if you have added 3 elements into a list, after that you need to tell that Python that I want to add 4 more elements, so extend that list for a 4 more elements. That is also not that case. List already know that like there can be a case that user can add some more elements with me. Okay, so for such scenarios, what does that list do is that it already consumes it already consumes 64-bit additional memory with it. 64-bit additional memory with it, with respect to every element. With respect to every element, because that is a mutable data structure. Okay, and apart from that, when we talk about that dictionary, When we talk about that dictionary, this number goes towards that 224 bits. This number goes to 224 bits. And when we talk about that tuple, this is only about 32 bits. This is only about that 32 bits. So the sequence of that memory allocation or that memory efficiency is that, first of all, tuple is that most memory efficient, and after that list is that more memory efficient, and then that dictionary is the worst memory efficient. Okay, so when I say that dictionary is the worst memory efficient, so is there any benefit of using dictionary? Why dictionary is wasting so much memory? Dictionary is providing any such a use case that I can give up my that scenario that okay, I will expend that 224 bits of extra memory, but I am willing to use that dictionary. Is there any use case in anyone's mind?
Yes, sir. Like in every element, there will be a key and a value. So if you want to assign something to a particular element, then dictionaries are really used.
In that case, like you can use that list as well.
How, sir?
There also you can get a index 0, 1, 2, 3.
Index, yeah, but 0, 1, 2, 3, but like particular, we can name it also. Like I don't know, we can name it and we can call those particular names for and as call those values also. So it's
And
more.
so what is that benefit you are getting over there? Like that is the thing. What you are just saying is just an alternative. What is that extra I'm getting over there?
I'll have to think about it. So 1 minute.
Yeah, please do. What about others? Jatin, Shubham, Shraddha.
It's unordered and cannot contain duplicate keys.
Cannot contain duplicate keys. That is true. So, but like I just wanted to understand that use case. In which use case you'd like to prefer that dictionary and you'd like to expend 224 more extra bits for it? Because that dictionary is more expensive in the terms of that memory. When I say that memory utilization, how many of you understand that which memory I am talking about?
Bitwise memory.
No.
Storage.
Which kind of storage? Which kind of storage I am talking about? Okay. So let me share my screen. Is it visible to you? My VS Code is visible to you?
No, sir.
The VS Code is not visible, but your Zoom is visible. Zoom pin.
Okay, let me. By that time, you all can think like which memory I'm talking about. When a program runs, which memory does it use?
main memory, RAM, random access memory. When there is a RAM and there's a ROM, so in ROM is read-only memory. Read-only memory is basically like it doesn't change, like, but RAM keeps changing. It's temporary. RAM is temporary and ROM is not temporary. That's what.
Okay. So you are saying that when a program runs, we are using a RAM memory, right? Not a
Yeah,
ROM
no,
memory.
yes, I said that we are using RAM memory. Yes.
Okay. How many of you agree with Karan? How many of you agree with Karan? No one. Shubham, Shraddha, Malkesh.
Yes, sir. We use RAM.
Okay. At least please speak up, like,
So,
as you
uh,
guys spoke in that your introductions, I thought that this would be an interactive session. If things are going over your head, then like I can simplify it.
I
Sir,
believe RAM and ROM both are used because there are some data structures that are immutable also.
Mhm.
So if we are not changing also elements, then ROM should also be used. I'm just guessing here. I may be wrong.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so now my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So basically, we are here talking about our RAM memory. Okay, like when I say that RAM memory, so RAM is having a limited space over there. RAM is having a limited space over there, and in that space only, your other programs are also running. For say, like let's say my VS Code is also running in that same RAM. My Chrome is also running in that same RAM. My Safari is also running in that same RAM. And after those like those programs or those applications, my Python program is also going to run into that same RAM. Okay, so we should always think through before writing any code. We should always think through how expensive is my program in the terms of that memory. Can I optimize that one? Can I optimize that one? Okay, so I would give a very simple idea about that memory management in that Python. First of all, the first thing is that there are two parts for that in the terms of basic memory management in that Python: stack
If
and that heap. Okay, so when I say that stack and that heap, okay, so let's say I have assigned a variable x is equal to 0. I have assigned a variable x is equal to 0. So what is that 0 and what is that x?
X is a variable and 0 is the value.
0 is the value, and you're storing the value of 0 in variable X.
Okay. How about I would say that 0 is an object and x is a reference to that particular object. In Python, everything is an object. Let's say my terminal is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's say x is equal to 0, I have written. And if I go there and if I check the type of that x, what would be my what would be that answer?
Integer.
Integer.
Only integer or something else?
With memory, I think int 64.
See, what does it tells? Class int.
Oh,
So
object.
Yes, sir. Class int.
so every time you check that type, Python always say that the x you are declaring over there, and you are trying to assign an object which is a type of class integer. You are trying to assign a value into that variable x which is a type of class x. So from that particular logic, we can comfortably say that 0 is an object of class type integer. This much is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone is on the same page,
Yes, sir.
or anyone is having any doubt?
No, sure.
Okay. So in that case, now this is our variable, okay, and that object goes over here and it sits inside that heap, and this x refers that 0 in that heap, and this 0 can have a memory location something like this. Okay, so this is our object, and this object is having a memory location which is 123457544, and this is a variable. So now, can anybody explain me what is that requirement of that variable if we have that exact memory location of that particular object? Why do we require a variable, a extra thing, a extra overhead? Why you would like to use that variable name? Why can't we directly use that memory location?
Store that memory in stack memory because it is heap.
Sorry.
Hello. I'm saying X will be stored in stack, so we need a, a private object for store in that variable. That's why we are using X.
No, see, very simple answer. Very simple answer. Like in your college days or in your school days, remembering a roll number is way much difficult than remembering your name, right? Or remembering your registration ID is very difficult than remembering your name. That is correct.
Yes.
So in the same way, as a programmer, it is very difficult for me to remember this 123475544. This memory location for that object 0 is very difficult for me. So as a programmer, I say that this is your name and I will call you with this particular name. So whenever I say X, internally my Python program understands that I am pointing towards that particular memory location and I have to give him that particular object. Okay, this much is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now what will happen if I do that y is equal to x, or let's say y is equal to 0? what will happen over here in that stack and that heap?
Stack will be going on Y and heap will be go for 0.
Okay. So one more memory will be allocated. Another memory block will be allocated for that Y.
Yes.
Okay. But that is not going to happen. What Python will do is that it will refer towards that same memory location. Because Python says that, Python memory management says that, like, until and unless you don't tell me explicitly that I would have to allocate a separate memory for that same value, by that time I'm not going to allocate that extra memory space for you in that heap, because that is a waste of memory, right? Y is also referring towards that same object which is having a value 0. Type is same, value is same, then why someone would like to have an extra memory? Is that correct?
I didn't follow, sir.
Sorry?
I didn't get what you said, sir.
No, like I'm not clear with your question. Could you please repeat?
Please go back to the VS Code file.
Again, Karan?
Hello. I'm audible.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
audible.
I'm saying, please go back to the VS Code file. I didn't understand the last part you said.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So where is your doubt? Which point you missed out?
I didn't miss. I couldn't follow. Like you were saying that if the value of the object 0 is taken as reference as X, and then again you have taken one more reference as Y of the same object, then
Yes.
you're saying that this should have a different address.
No,
Why
it would
should
have that same address.
But it will neglect the previous X reference, right?
No, both will point to that same address.
Okay.
It is not going to allocate any extra memory for that Y.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So this is how Python manages that memory over here. Okay. Now this will follow in that case of integer as well. This will follow in the case of string as well. This will be followed in the case of list as well. Okay. So there is one very commonly asked question in that Python community during that interview. That is like, what is a deep copy and shallow copy in that case of list?
So
Like, for example, why that term deep copy and shallow copy I referred? Because just now we have seen a very good part of that Python. Okay, wow, that Python is saving my lot of memory, and like it is very smart enough that it has a sense that this is that same type of that object, and this is having a same value as well. So let's refer that y variable to that same object and same memory location. So till here everything looks good, and Python is a very smart language. Okay, now let's say we have a use case. List is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Okay, now I want to do some operation on this list L, and that will alter my list L. Let's say I want to multiply this list L with a 2. But I want to keep a copy of that list L because I also need that original value of that list L in the later part of my program. So I don't want to change that as well. So what I did is that I copied this L into another variable, that is L2. And according to my requirement, what I did is that I multiplied this L with a 2. So first of all, I would like to understand from all of you, what will be that output of this one if I multiply this L with a 2?
The elements in the list will be multiplied by 2.
Each element in the list will be multiplied by 2.
I think so, yes.
Okay. How many agree with him? How many of you agrees with him?
Yes, sir.
Sir, each element multiplied by 2.
Each element will be multiplied.
Or it might actually it might show
No. Only one answer. Okay. Shubham, what do you think?
Yes, sir. It will multiply each element.
Malkesh? Malkesh, are you there? Apurva?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think?
So
Yes,
I
sir.
think the size will be increased, sir.
Just a second, Jatin. Yes, Apurva, what do you think? If you
Yes.
multiply a list by 2, what will happen?
Yes, sir. I also think the same.
Okay, Himanshu, what do you think?
Sir, each element of the list will be multiplied by 2.
Jatin, you are saying something.
I am saying if we multiply by 2, then we print, sir, we get the length will be changed, sir. Length will be increased.
Okay, I will come back to you. Akash, what do you think?
Yes, sir. Like each element will get multiplied by 2.
Okay, Jatin, I will come back to you. First of all, I would like to understand that you guys have gone through that NumPy.
Yes, sir.
Everyone has gone through that NumPy course.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the difference between list and NumPy? Why it is required to jump to that NumPy? What is that?
NumPy contains arrays.
What is that limitation with that list?
Sir, NumPy, it's a array, I think, and list will be contain data like 1, 2, 3 types data, but it will not contain. Array will not contain same. Array will contain same data types, but list can contain all kind of data types.
You have never seen any array which is in Python. I'm just talking about in Python. You have never seen any array which is containing string and numbers both.
So
Okay. So first of all, my starting feedback is that you guys are not comfortable with that list. Most of you are not comfortable with that list. Okay. See, what is that output? Each element got multiplied by 2, or that length of that list got changed?
length will be
Length.
length will be going, sir. I'm
Oh, there is a magic. Answer got changed. Right? Okay. So what I'm doing is that since this operation was not an in-place operation, so what I am doing is that I am assigning that result into that original variable, that is L. Now, everyone remember my first requirement? What was my first requirement? My first requirement was that I would like that another version of this list L where I want to multiply that list by 2. But I also want to keep that original copy with me because I know that I would need that original copy in that later part of my program. Okay. So my first requirement is fulfilled. I have changed that L by multiplying it by 2. Just to double check, just to double check, I'd like to print L2 as well. I'd like to print that L2 as well. L2 would also have been changed. What happened with it? Just a sec.
Why will L2 change, sir?
No, because both are pointing towards that same memory location. So as you change that value of that L, L2 should also change. Let me take some another example. L2 is equal to L. Now let me check that L and L2. Okay. So let's take some another example. Let's say L of 0 is equal to 222. Okay. I am changing that L only. So what my expectation is that L2 should also get changed. Okay. Now it's somewhere working. Okay. So both L and L2 gets changed. Okay. So I will come back to that previous problem. What happened over here? Why at that particular time it did not got changed? I would come back to that one. But let's first cover up this particular point. Okay. That if I change that memory location or sorry, if I change that value in that L, it is also getting reflected in that L2 as well. So here is that drawback which Python took by itself, that I am a smart programming language and I will save my memory location. Okay, this is that drawback of that one, saving that memory location. Everyone is clear with this one till here? Till here, everyone is clear?
Yes, sir.
Anyone is having any doubt?
so you mentioned about copy and deep copy. I don't understand about the deep copy.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So what we just saw now is that if I am changing a value in L, that is getting affected in that L2 as well. That is not going to satisfy my requirement because I wanted that same version of that L1 at that later part of my program. Okay. So this one is called as a shallow copy. This one is known as a shallow copy. So what does that shallow copy means is that if I am changing that value in L, that would also get reflected to all the objects which is getting pointed with that same memory location, which is getting pointed to that same memory location. Okay, so that's why that L2 also gets affected. But I want to avoid that, but I don't want to change that. So there is a module in Python, copy. Copy is a module in Python. So what we can do is that now let's say I want to create another copy L3 from L. So copy dot deep copy is a function, and what I can do is that I can pass that L into it. Now here L3 and L still both are same. Still both are same. But now L3 is having a different memory location and L is having a different memory location. L is having a different memory location and L3 is having a different memory location. How? So there is another function called ID. If I would check that memory location of that L, and if I would check that memory location of L2, both are exactly same. See, so that is that reason if I am changing that value in L, that is getting reflected in L2 as well. This particular scenario. This particular scenario we have just seen now. But as soon as we use that L3, like copy.deep copy, I created another copy of that L using a deep copy. And if I check that ID of L3, that would be a different memory location. So now if I change anything in a list, so L will get affected, L2 will get affected, but L3 will remain same. Why? Because L3 is having that different memory location. This much is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everyone is having a very clear idea about this thing now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. Now, same thing happens with that all data structure in that Python. And this is that question which is generally being asked in that interview. What is that difference between a deep copy and a shallow copy? And what is that use case where you would like to use a deep copy? And what is that use case where would you like to use a shallow copy? So now you, as you are clear with that concept, now you can think through that. What are those scenarios where would I like to have a different copy of that same variable? And what are those scenarios where would I like to have a same copy of that particular variable? Okay. Now, anybody has heard a term called as a garbage collector in Python?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Free space when not in use to make it available for other objects.
Okay. Anybody else? How many of you are here from a computer science background or a IT background? No one. Okay, fine. So in that low level languages like C and C++, there is a very there is an extra effort for developers like us to manage that leakage of that memory. Now, when I say that manage a leakage of a memory, what do I understand by that? Okay. Let's say I'm giving that example in very crude manner. That is not that exactly what happened in that C and C++. Just I'm giving you an idea. Let's say this is a C++ program. Okay. And here you have assigned x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Okay. And by that time, let's say you have a different memory location for that, something known as ABC00, something like that. Okay. Now you have decided to move from y is equal to 0 to y is equal to 12. Now you decided to move from y is equal to 0 to y is equal to 12. So in C++, what will happen is that it will go over here and it will allocate another memory location for you. That is y is equal to 12 with a new memory location. Okay. So if you understand that concept of pointers, so that is that case with that pointers. But as I'm assuming that most of you do not understand that concept of that pointer in C++, so I am just telling you in the terms of directly in values. So now what will happen is that this link will be broken. This link will be broken now, but still this object is there in that memory. It has not been cleared, but no one is referring to that particular location now. This is useless for us and it's a waste of memory for us. So in that C++, it was programmer's responsibility to clear that memory. This is what we called as a leakage of memory. This is what we called as a leakage of that particular memory. So it was a programmer's responsibility. So before breaking that link, you should clear out that memory. Okay. And then you should use a separate memory, or you can use that particular variable for anything else, something different. Okay. But now, again, coming back to that good part of that Python, world, here, as soon as I say that, let's say y is equal to 12, I am assigning over here. So in that case, y would get a separate memory location, that is this one. Okay. Now, after some time, what I said is that I will assign y to 45. Now y will be get assigned to that another memory location, that is 45, and this particular connection will be breaked. But this is not that programmer's responsibility to clear out this particular memory location. Okay, there is something called as there is a program, what we called it as a garbage collector. There is a program running behind the scene in Python, that what we called it as a garbage collector. So after some time, garbage collector will come and it will clear out this particular memory location. So how that garbage collector understands that this particular memory location, I have to clear it out. Why not this particular memory location it will clear? So what does it keeps like garbage collector always keeps with themselves that which particular memory location is having a how many number of reference count is there with a particular memory location. So when I say that a reference count, each object, these are the object in our memory location. So each object is being referred by a variable. So how many variable is trying to refer each object? So in this particular case, 0 is being referred by a single object, 45 is being referred by a single object, 12 is being referred by a zero number of object. So garbage collectors always keep on checking that if there is a zero number of reference towards a particular memory location, it will go and clean that particular memory location. So this is how Python always save that memory leakage over here. So there is no chance in Python that our memory will be leaked over here until and unless you have written a very bad program. You have written a very bad program where that memory leakage scenario has been created. In that case, you have called that garbage collector function explicitly in your program to clean that particular memory. Otherwise, in all the scenarios, garbage collector automatically cleans out those memory. Okay, this much is clear to everyone.
So what is a bad program?
Bad program where have you heard about a linked list?
Yes, sir.
So let's say you are trying to implement a double linked list in that Python. So that first node is referring towards that second node, and second node is referring towards that third node, and third node is again referring towards that first node. Okay, so here
Okay.
that third node is referring towards that first node, and what you did is that you have cleared that reference of that like you have cleared that object of that third node, second node, and these two nodes you have cleared it out. As you have cleared that second node, third node and second node, still that reference is there with that first node, right?
Yes, sir.
Still that reference is there with that first node, but it's a no use of that first node reference because it's no longer a circular linked list,
Yes, yes,
right?
because cleared, yeah.
So there you have written a bad program. If you have implemented that particular circular linked list program
You
in
got
a
it.
bad way, it will leak out a memory from that particular program. There that garbage collector gets confused and you have to explicitly call that garbage collector in your program. Okay. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, I got it, sir.
Okay. Okay. So till now, anyone is having any question? Okay. So anybody would like anybody is interested in visualizing these thing using a program?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's write a program over here. How many of you are aware of SYS module? So all the functionality we can do over here, like system commands, what I can say is that everything can be performed using this particular module. So we will discuss in detail about this SYS module later in our course. But currently I would like to show you a memory program using that SYS. Okay. Import SYS. Now I'm going to create a function where that I will store a huge number of element into a list. Okay. If okay. So the idea is that like I'm going to create a function which will take a size as an input and it will create a list for me and it will return that particular list as an output. Okay. So everyone understood what is that idea? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So I'm writing a very short program over here for I in range of that size. For I in range in size. Okay. So if you don't understand this comprehension, don't worry. We'll have a very uh, extensive discussion over that comprehension as well. Okay. Let's say size is equal to this much. Okay. Now list is equal to create list and I would pass a size over there. Okay. Now L is a list. Now let's print that size of that particular list. Get size of that particular list L. And that same thing I will print over here as well. If not, I will write another function in which that size will be printed. Okay. Now, let's try to run this particular program. As we are trying to create a very large size list, it will take some time. So how many of you are aware of that time complexity thing?
Little bit. So.
How many of you are aware of that time complexity? Okay, so as you can see that like it is killed because of that memory overflow, I guess. So let's keep it short. Okay, so let's print that size over here as well. This will give you that size at both the places. Okay. After that, what we will do is that we will run a main program, and into that main program, again, we will try to print that size. Okay. There is noise coming. If somebody's mic is on. How many of you understand this underscore main? How many of you understand that underscore that main?
Don't understand, sir.
Sorry?
I don't know that may understand the main, sir.
Okay. Not a problem. So what I was trying to show you all is that, like, see, here that list has been created, and that size of that list is something this much. Okay. And now again we call that particular function, and we have stored that same list into another variable. We have stored that list into that another variable, and that variable size is also that same, because it's just a duplicate of that my list, nothing else. But if we declare that variable as a global variable, so as soon as that all the functionality of this particular function ends, all the functionality of this particular function ends, at that particular time, that size of that L come back towards that its original position. Because what will happen is that as soon as that function start being processed, that all the local variable which is being stored over here is getting a memory into that heap. One by one, size will get a memory, because size is also a local variable over there. L is a list, L will also get a memory into that heap. But as soon as that main function ends, garbage collector comes into that picture, and it will start removing that local variables, because that scope of that local variable was limited into that function only. Okay. And it only left out with that space which is being allocated to that global variable, because L is still into that picture. So that's why L is having only a 24 bits of memory. Is that clear to everyone? We will discuss this underscore main in that later part of our program. It's there with us.
Sir,
Yeah.
can you repeat that? Why L got 24-bit memory?
Sorry?
Why get the L 24-bit memory? I don't understand by the 24 meaning.
Like list with an integer, like this is a simple integer basically, because here if I check that type of that L, I'm guessing that it should be an integer. that it's an integer value and it got that 24-bit of memory.
Okay.
If you are confused with that, like why
I'm
not
just confusing by the
8-bit or 32-bit?
no, in there I'm just confusing about the list L is equals to create underscore.
No.
That's
And
why I get it.
see, this is not that calculation that if you are thinking that character is being allocated as a 1 bit of that memory and integer is being allocated with that something 8-bit of memory and float is being allocated with some other memory space. This is not that particular size. Okay. I am also not sure that SYS is calculating in it in some other format or something else. It's just for a comparison. I have shown you this particular size because that unit is same for everyone. So that's why these all are comparable. Just the purpose was to show you that size of all those variable. Okay, nothing else. Okay. Yep. So this is all about that how that memory is being managed in that Python. So let's recall that we have started from that concept. We have started from that concept. Which one is that better? List, tuple, or dictionary? Which one is more expensive in the terms of that memory? Okay.
Dictionary
So
is the expensive.
yeah, dictionary is that most expensive, but being that most expensive, we have some benefits. So in most of the cases we would like to go with that dictionary. We have those use cases because dictionary is very beneficial in the terms of that time complexity. We will come to that part as well. We will come to that part as well. But after that, we went towards that how memory is being managed in that Python, how object is being referenced toward being referred towards that using a variable, why we don't use a memory location to access that particular object. And we have also seen that concept of deep copy and shallow copy. What is that use case of that deep copy? And after that we have seen that how a garbage collector works into that Python. Okay, till here everything is clear to everyone.
So basically, garbage collector is the clearing the free memory, है ना?
Yes. Free memory, when you say that free memory, it means that in technical terms we can say that that reference counter towards that particular object, if there is a zero reference counter towards any of that object, garbage collector will come into that picture and it will clear out that particular memory.
Okay.
Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about others?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Manisha, I guess you joined late.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are getting that concepts.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I would like to understand from you that what is that deep copy and shallow copy? What is that difference between that and what is that use case? In which scenario we will use that deep copy and in which scenario we can use that shallow copy?
So I could only get deep copy. It creates different memory locations, I guess. That is the only part that I got. I joined late. So.
Okay. Mhm. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now what I wanted now is that like you should start writing that program. I would paste that program over here, or I would write that program in that text file. and you try to approach that particular program, then we can discuss that why you are facing that difficulty, where you are facing that difficulty in building that logic, or you are not able to use that Python concept. What is that problem you are facing? Okay, will that work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, write a program everyone is comfortable with that concept of function. Everyone can write a basic functions, or
Yes, sir.
anyone is having any doubt in writing basic functions as well? Okay, write a function which takes a string as argument and returns a string with first letter as caps. For example, output will be this is a Python class, something like this. Okay, so this will be our input and this is our output. Okay, that program is clear to everyone, or is there any doubt? I should paste this in chat as well. Question is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
What about others? Akash, Shubham, Shraddha, Rakesh, Himanshu.
Yes, sir. Question is.
You guys are getting that concepts, or things are going over the head? See, anyone is having any problem, any doubt, you can ping me. Okay, or you can text me personally as well, like, sir, we can go slow, or you can refer me Krishnesh as well, no problem at all. Krishnesh, we can go slow, like things are going over the head. Or if you want that we should take some extra questions on that topic, or we should practice more on that topic, in that case as well, you can ping me. Okay. Everyone is attempting that question. Anyone is facing any difficulty or anyone is having any question? Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right now I am unable to attempt the question. I will try later. Shubham, why? See,
Sir, my laptop is start updating.
sorry?
लैपटॉप अपडेट ने स्टार्ट कर दिया है सर.
Okay. See, देखो, you have a very good opportunity. We are giving a dedicated time to all of you that कि attempt करो questions, doubt पूछो, अभी के अभी clear करो doubt.
सर इसमें आर्ग्स यूज करना है सर.
वो मतलब देखो कैसे डिजाइन करना है प्रॉब्लम को, क्या अप्रोच होगा, तुम बताओ पहले करना है या नहीं करना है, करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए. करने से पहले ये सोचो कि उसकी जरूरत भी है क्या, आर्क्स किस काम में आता है, उस चीज की जरूरत भी है क्या हमें. हिमांशु, आर यू अटेम्प्टिंग दैट क्वेश्चन?
नो सर.
क्यों?
सर एक्चुअली मैं ना मोबाइल से क्लास अटेंड कर रहा हूँ आज.
यार क्यों अटेंड कर रहे हो मोबाइल से, किसने बोला मोबाइल से अटेंड करने को क्लास?
लैपटॉप इज नॉट वर्किंग.
राकेश, व्हाट अबाउट यू?
हाँ सर, कर रहा हूँ सर अटेम्प्ट. मैंने किया भी फंक्शन, बेसिक
गुड
फंक्शन, लेकिन
गुड.
वो एक एड्रेस पे दिखा रहा है सेव.
नो प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम, मेरे को उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कि आंसर आया या नहीं आया, बस अटेम्प्ट करो. मैं चाहता हूँ तुम गलती कहाँ कर रहे हो वो देखना है मुझे. श्रद्धा, व्हाट अबाउट यू?
Yes, I'm trying it.
ओके. शुभम, शुभम का मैसेज आ गया. Jatin is attempting. Akash, what about you?
Yes, sir. Like in starting, I did with a simple function like using that title, but I'm just trying to iterate
Okay.
like other approach.
See, अगर किसी को फंक्शन लिखने में प्रॉब्लम है ना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, तुम बस लॉजिक लिख के लाओ. We will convert it into a function together. ठीक है? Just come up with a logic. Manisha, what about you?
Yes, sir, try.
Sorry?
Yes, sir, trying.
Okay, trying. Okay, fine. Manisha, you joined late, so we did a activity before starting that class. So everyone introduced their self, like what are they doing? They are into a college or they are a working professional. And what is that experience or what is that learning you carry with you in that learn and build? In the case of that Python, how much do you know in Python, and what are your weak points in that Python where you want to focus in this session? So that I would expect from the people who has not answered this question. So Manisha, you can start with that.
What all do I need to cover?
So, the idea is that I would like to understand that what are the missing points in that Python? What are the missing dots in that Python where you are lacking? First, you was having a 10 days or 15 days session of that Python, what I understood from everyone. So in that particular session, what was your weak point and what are your expectation from this particular session of advanced Python?
So in that 10 days, I was able to get the theory and the practical as well. But as day passed, I could practice at all. So I'm lacking now. I think I need practice more.
So what are that weak points? Like you are comfortable with that functions, you are comfortable with that data types, for loop, if conditions, these things you are comfortable with?
Yes, sir. Because I've studied C, so it's a bit of confusing when I apply for loops and string implementation. So it's a bit of confusion, but I can implement that if I practice.
Okay, okay, okay. So basically you need a practice. Okay.
Yes,
If
sir.
anyone else is left with that introduction, so they can go ahead with that. Or otherwise, I would like to start discussing that problem statement what I have given. So who would like to go first with their doubts? See, if you are not going to ask any doubt, I'm not going to give you solution directly.
So my doubt is, sir, I am not understanding how can going to capital the first letter. Which type of module or function I have to use?
See, that is that case I was talking initially. So everyone was of the opinion in that scikit-learn or Keras and TensorFlow, for everything you are having a function. Where is your logical thinking? Here, Python do not provide any function like where you can like capitalize that first letter or function. Let's say Python provide a function as well, like there is a function, but I don't want you to use that particular function. Write a logic for that. What if you have to build that particular function? So think in that direction. How, first of all, how would you access that first element of each word into a sentence?
Indexing.
Yes, good. You will access the first letter of each word using indexing, right?
Yeah.
But before that as well, how would you access that first word or that second word, third word, fourth word from that
Sir,
string?
for that we need to split it by space.
Okay.
Then we have to access the first letter of the first word, and then we have to make it capital.
Okay, so do you have any approach, or if you have any program, you can send it out over here?
No, sir. I just right till my laptop is not started.
Okay, okay, no problem. So other get that idea what Shubham was talking about.
No, sir.
Okay, what does that split function do with that string?
So create a list.
Yeah, create a list out of a string
Yes.
having
Having a specific word like this will be go in a list particular like first index.
yes, zeroth index, and is will
Yeah.
be that first index, and a will be at that,
Will be like third index.
and likewise. Okay. Now, what is your task?
Our
Now
task.
your task is to access those words from that list and capitalize that first letter of that word. Now, how will you access those words from that list? Using a
Indexing.
loop, because that size of that string can change.
Yes, sir.
Using a loop, you will access each word of that list, right?
Yes, sir.
Now,
so first we have to split, then we have to use a loop.
first you have to split that string, so that
Okay.
string will be converted into a list.
List.
Now, from that list, each word you have to first of all access, and from that each word you have to access that first letter, and you have to capitalize that particular letter. So I think there is enough hint on which you can make that progress.
Okay.
Okay. Akash, is this working? Okay. Okay. Do you understand what does that capitalize do? And what is that difference between capitalize and upper? Akash, are you there? Okay. So my question is that like what is difference between that capitalize and upper?
Capitalize function will like do first letter capital only for the particular word, and upper it will do for a whole word.
Okay. Okay. That's good. You have solved the problem. Could you please try to convert this into a function?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Please do that. Anybody else would like
Sir,
to ask?
um,
Yeah, please.
sir, first I use split, as you said, then using for loop to get the this, and I use capitalize. I wrote capitalize.
Okay. So you are saying that your program is working.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my question was to write a function. If you have not written a function, please convert it into a function.
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Okay. So let's discuss the solution now. If anybody is not having any doubt, or if anybody would like to share their screen and ask doubts, then I am also okay with that. Okay. So I am sharing my screen. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the program what I have written, like without using capitalize. I have just used that upper. You can also use that capitalize as well. Okay. So I have just used that upper over there, and using that upper, I have written that particular program, and that is also working over here. Okay. So in the what other people has approached is that they have directly used a string function known as capitalize over here. Okay, in the place of this whole calculation. So I went one step down, and what I did is that I used that same function upper, and has I have capitalized that first letter of that particular program only, and after that I have appended that rest of the word with that particular first letter, rest of the letters with that first letter. So that will make this word this as capital THIS. Okay. So any way around is fine. Now, is there any doubt in this particular program? I am also doing that first thing. I am splitting that particular program. Then I am using that list comprehension, and using that list comprehension, I am also doing that same thing what you guys are doing. Okay. And finally, I am converting that array into, sorry, list into that string. Okay. Now, my question is that,
सर
yes,
सर स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रही.
स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रही है. Now, is it visible?
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
sir.
Is it that same case for everyone?
Yes, sir. Screen is not visible.
Yes.
Okay. I have shared my screen. Now,
No, sir.
okay, I will do one thing. I'm copying my program and I will paste it in the chat. But I did not wanted to do that because most of you will just copy and paste it. Okay, so what I did is that, like, I have just accessed that 0th letter of that particular word, and I have used that function called upper, and I have then appended that rest of that letter to that first letter. Okay, so this is a other way to do that. Okay, is there any doubt in this? If there is no doubt, then we can move ahead.
Sir, my doubt is, sir, you are using plus in list comprehension, you are using plus S one, then double indexing. So what will doing this work, sir?
So S of 1, then colon you are asking, or
Yeah,
what?
plus you added now.
Okay, so that means is that start from that first index of that string and go till that end. This means that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now I would like to just, after this particular class, think through this particular function. What is lagging in this particular function? When this function will break? When this function will stop working? In which situation? And how you will handle it? Okay. So that's all from my end. So if anybody is having any question, you can go ahead with that. We can discuss it.
Sir, args or difference between args and quarks?
We will come back to that. We will have a discussion on advanced functions.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. And so you also teaching us DSA, sir?
Currently, I'm taking your classes for advanced Python. I do not have any acknowledgement for DSA.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So everyone is clear with that task. Your task is to just figure it out in which scenario this function will start breaking, in which scenario this function will start giving a error. Okay, and how you will handle it. So if anybody is having any doubt, they can ask, and we will keep that format in such a way that we will discuss all of these things, all of your doubts, all of that programs what we have given in that last session in the first half an hour or 15 minutes. If you would like to continue with your doubts, we can extend that time as well. And after that, in another half an hour, we will learn a new concept, or in other 45 minutes, we will learn a new concept. And on the basis of new concept, we will practice a problem. Okay. This is the format what we will keep. Is that okay for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay, so if you don't have any doubt, then let's drop off. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.